So this is it, huh? This is what it's like. This is a copper stub out. Okay, so these are the last. Oh, hey everybody, Cowboy Jake here, guys. Today we're doing copper stub outs, y'all. I'm trying to look at this thing and figure out exactly how it works. So I think this end is going to connect to the PEX plumbing. This end is going to stick through the wall. And then our shutoff valve is going to go on the end of this. I think we got to cut it and then put our shutoff valve on there. But pretty funny looking object, if you ask me. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this copper pipe out of my way for two reasons. One, Mr. Don said this copper pipe's worth a lot of money. So as soon as I leave here, I'm looking me up a scrap place, a metal scrapping place, and I'm going to try to go get me a little payday from this copper pipe. And then also, it's just in my way. It might be easier to take out the whole board. What kind of screws did this guy use in here? This is now out of the way, mostly. All right, y'all, here we go. We got our toilet water supply coming down. We have our copper stub out. And y'all remember how the copper stub outs looked before we started? They didn't look nothing like this with the valve on them and everything. I'll show you how we got here, but I just want to put one up first. Okay, so this is going to go right here. We're going to have plenty of line, maybe even too much line. Let's see if we shouldn't redirect it more like that. Let's trim it off a little bit more, y'all, before we plug it in. Yeah, right there. Right there. Now we'll put on our connector. We're going to expand this out, then we're going to connect it to our copper stub out. Then we're going to put our copper stub out on the wall, and then we'll be done. Well, with this one. We'll be done with this one. We got to do like 5 more. Okay. That is expanded. We will grab our stub out. We will pop it on there, just like that. Make sure everything's going to kind of be going the right direction. There we go. Make sure that's still on there good. Okay, y'all, we're looking good. We're looking real good. That's what we're going to look like. And so we'll give this a moment to kind of finish doing what it's doing here. Hold on, I have a slight concern. Maybe this copper stub out can't go right behind this drain. Maybe it has to come over here. And so I brought some 2x4s with me. Let me get this measured out across here. We're gonna have to put in a brace for it, and then screw it into that brace. That is no problem, y'all. That is no problem. Let me grab my tape measure, get it measured, and I'll be back with y'all in 1 moment. Looks like we're gonna go 2 1/4 feet. All right, y'all, so I'll be honest. I'm a bit frustrated right now because finally I was going to get something going and then it wasn't in the right spot. So I cut a board to make it go in the right spot. Then when I went screwing the board, my drill battery was not charged. So I got a screw literally halfway hanging out of the wall. I couldn't even put in one screw. So while my drill battery charges and while I calm down in order to not waste a bunch of time, I will do something else. I wanted to show you guys how we're going to get this copper stub out ready for our shutoff valve and how it's going to go on the pipe and all that stuff. So I'll show you first of all, this is a copper stub out, okay? Your PEX line, your water line hooks on right here on the top, and then it's going to come down and this valve is going to go on it. And this is what your sink or your toilet or your shower or your other sink or whatever, this is what all of your water lines hook to, this is what your sink line and your toilet line, all those lines, this is what they hook to actually supply your water. And here's the valve, you turn it on and off, okay? This is plugged. This does not have a hole in it. So you're gonna say, well, Jake, what good is a valve if there's not even a hole for water to come out of? And I'll show you what we're about to do. So this here is a pipe cutter. We're going to very simply tighten it up on this little, well, I guess on the pipe cutter, I guess is what it is. So check it out. You want to leave yourself plenty of space sticking out the wall. And honestly, I probably want a little bit more space. Let's just bring it back up here. Just because I'm a beginner and I never know what could possibly go wrong with my plumbing job. Okay, now that it is hooked on to the copper stub out, it's not screwed on very tight at all. Look, I barely did it hand tight. We're now going to spin it. Okay, we're gonna spin it until it gets really easy to spin. You see how easy it is to spin now? It just goes around like nothing. And if you look in here, you can see a line that's going around our pipe. That's where it has started cutting. So now we're going to tighten it up a little bit more. And we're going to spin. We're going to tighten it up a little bit more. We're going to spin. We're going to tighten it up a little bit more. And we're going to spin. And what you don't want to do, you don't want to just crank down on it as tight as it can go and then start spinning. What's going to happen is your pipe's going to break. Okay, copper is a very soft metal from what I can tell. Literally, as we're speaking, cutting through this with ease, y'all. Like, I think it's got to be about ready to come off. I'm going to start a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, and it's off. It's off, okay? So this isn't really rough. It doesn't really have any rough edges. But if it did, you would use this deburring tool. You would take it, you would put it in here, and you would go around like this. And what it's doing is it's shaving the inside, and it's making sure it's all smooth, y'all. Just like that, okay? So now what you're gonna do is we're gonna take our shutoff valve. We're going to open it up. You do not want to lose this little golden ring that's inside of here. That's how it is gonna keep it on here. So check it out. We're gonna slip this nut onto the end of our copper stub out, just like this. It's actually kind of hard to go on there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I need it further down on there. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to take your valve, you're going to stick it on here as far, you're going to stick it on here as far as it'll go. You're going to bring your screw and that little golden ring, you're going to bring it up to the valve. And you're going to start tightening. And what that's going to do is that little golden ring in there is going to clamp, and it's going to create a seal. And it's going to keep everything together nice, tight, no leaks. And what I should do and what I'm going to do is unscrew this now and put on Teflon tape. But this is what it's going to look like. Your PEX pipe's going to hook here. This is going to stick out of the wall. It looks nice, clean, professional. Got your valve on here and your hookup for your whatever. Hopefully my drill battery's charged. It's been about 5 minutes. Now I can start my real work. All right, y'all, here we go. Our first copper stub out is ready to be installed, and like installed in the way that we are done, y'all. D-U-N, done. Make sure it's all the way up. Start the screw here. All right. We'll make sure this is coming straight. Just like that. Good. Good. Beautiful, y'all. We have got in our first copper stub out. Sorry. See how it is there. And it's gonna hang down right here. That looks beautiful. I'll push it up a little bit, give it a little bit of play in that line. Right there, y'all. Grab our screw. Make sure everything is in where it needs to be. There. I don't know why I made that so hard, y'all. Seriously. Once we have sheetrock on here, then everything, you know, is going to make it even more stable and sturdy, but already it's beautiful. I'll be completely honest with you guys. My plumbing video today, it sucked. My plumbing video sucked. I was frustrated. I couldn't get nothing going right. Every time I get something going right, something would go wrong. I was in a rush. I don't know. I thought the electrician's going to be here any moment, and I'm just trying to hurry up and do what I got to do, so once we turn on this well, we're not absolutely screwed. But anyway, guys, the electrician is not here to hook it up yet, but we are finished, guys. We are, in fact, finished. So here we go. Coming out of the well, we have our valve, and like we talked about before, we're going to shut this so we can just fill up our well. Okay, it comes down just now. I glued on this ball valve, and you're like, Jake, why the heck that ain't right? Why'd you do that for? This is temporary. This is temporary right here. Okay, so look. We're going to shut this. And so now all of our water can go. It's going to flow to the house, y'all. So we already know about this stuff. We already know about the water going up and flowing into the house. We're going to add a water hose spigot. I've seen that question a lot. Don't worry. We're going to add stuff for our water hoses and water lines out to barns and shelters and troughs and everything. We're going to get there, y'all. We're going to get there. But right now, we just got to get this house ready to go before we start coming out here and doing all the big stuff. Once we're moved out here, we can start improving this place tremendously. The problem is we gotta get moved out here, y'all. It's hard. It's a lot of work. And so, okay, so I've run our plumbing lines out the window, okay? And I got to run this one out the window too, or I also brought some buckets along. So whenever we turn on our water, this water is going to start coming out, y'all. Once it fills up, it's going to start coming out. Once our water heater fills up, you know. So then all this stuff is still the same. We're not going to worry about that too much. Let's come in here, y'all. Coming on down the wall for our kitchen sink, we have our cold water copper stub out and our hot water copper stub out. I've made sure all of these valves are closed because once we turn on the water, like I said, if they're not closed, we're going to have a lot of trouble, y'all. Well, not a lot of trouble, a lot of water. So we will have to get buckets and bleed all the air out of the lines before the water will come out, but that's okay. Coming in here, I got to put a plug in the end of this line and put a plug in the end of this line, or else when the water comes on, it's going to go out everywhere, okay? We have our copper stub out with our valve turned off for our toilet, cold water. And we have our copper stub outs for our shower. We're going to do hot on the left and cold on the right, and I don't know why I just forgot to screw those in, but that's not a big deal. They're going to be up here. They're going to be screwed in. They're going to stick out just like that, y'all. That's how they're going to look, right by each other. And I will also make sure that valve is closed and that valve is closed. Guys, as of this moment, we are ready and waiting for the power to be turned on to our well. And we could or could not have water at Honey Hill. This cowbird just now caught a frog. Oh my gosh. Why? Go eat a bug. Oh no. Uh-oh. That's not good, y'all. I'm just going to get some diesel and then I'll be back, but I'm not going to stick around to watch horrific things like that happen. No way, y'all. Malachi. Ignore that Benjamin. All right, guys, we've made it out to the pasture and everything is drying out very, very, very nicely. What I have to do first is I have to finish plowing this rectangle of green. I'm going to plow it all up, rip it up real good. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to park the tractor. I'm not going to park the tractor. I'm going to park the plow, switch over to the disc, and just drive over all this stuff, try to smoothen it out a little bit, and it'll be ready to go, y'all. Then Mr. Don will bring over his tiller. We'll put down the coastal sprigs, and we'll watch it grow. We did it, y'all. We got the entire field destroyed, and looking worse than it's ever looked before, y'all. But just like the house, how we ripped it apart and it looked worse than it ever did before. Now, guys, we're gonna turn around and we're gonna make it beautiful. We're gonna make it beautiful and dirt and smooth and pretty. The plow's coming off, the disc is going on. That should kind of churn everything up and kind of lay it down smooth. And then, well, then I don't know. All right, y'all, for the next, I don't know, however long until the electrician gets here, I got the disc attached. I'm gonna be out there just driving up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, trying to knock down that whole pasture. I'm gonna set y'all up on my wife's little tripod here. I'm gonna try to put y'all in the shade because it's a hot one out here today and y'all will overheat quickly. Let's just see what we can do, y'all. This is more like it, y'all. This is only one passover with the disc, and you know, that was the worst one. That was the one where it felt like I was in a boxing match the whole time. I was sitting up on the tractor, broom, 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 you know, it's throwing me all around. But, hear me out. You can still see maybe some small marks where the plow would run, maybe in some spots, but not really. And what that means, guys, is one run over with the disc has filled in all of our ruts and smoothed it out that much. Now on the next run, we can haul butt and it'll really smooth it out. The electrician's still not here, so I guess I'll keep going. There it is, y'all. Our finished, disced, plowed pasture. Now we take a picture of this, we send it to Mr. Don, and we see what we do next, guys, in terms of getting the sprigs and getting them planted out here. All right, guys, the electrician will be here in like 5 minutes. He called me just now and said, hey, I'm 5 minutes away, just to let you know. I said, okay, well, do you need me here? I need to go get something to eat. Like, I'm exhausted. I need something to eat. I need something to drink. He said, yeah, I don't need you there whenever I get there. You know, most of my time is going to be spent digging. I got to dig a trench from here to your breaker box. So, you know, it's going to take me a while, so don't worry about it. Go get something to eat. It's not a big deal. And I'm just thinking like, dude, no way. No way, dude. It's like 100 degrees out here today. It's hot. And I'm not about to make no other man stand out here with a shovel and dig a trench going through here. Now, he might can use my water trench. Maybe he doesn't want to. But what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm going to get right here on the tractor, take the plow, back it up to right here, and I'm going to run him a line that's going to at least tie into my trench. And then from there, if he has more shovel work to do, that's okay. But at least, you know, the hard part's done. And I'd rather just get on the tractor and do it, y'all, than wait around for an hour for someone to dig a hole. Like, why make an hour? Like, I know we're paying the guy or whatever, he's hired and all that good stuff, and it's his job, but why would we make 30 seconds worth of work take 30 minutes or an hour? And plus it's hot, you know, so I'm just gonna try to help out. Our trench is dug and the man himself is coming up the driveway, y'all. We are about to get some water going. Hopefully. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Uh-oh. All right, y'all, here we go. I'm going to attempt to prime our well. Okay, but two things. One, there's a spider that's crawling up this piece of grass trying to get me. Okay, number two, I have to try to make sure I don't get any trash in this bucket. And what I mean by trash would be like that piece of grass that I got in there. I don't want that. So I'm actually gonna take our water through a two-step filtration process, country style, where now I got in this 5-gallon bucket. Now I'm gonna scoop it out of here with water bottles, and that should keep it pretty clean, y'all, and we'll use that to prime our well. Step one, we're going to very carefully take off this pressure valve. Okay, this is where we're going to fill up our pump with water and hopefully prime this thing. It should be loose enough now. Hopefully I can get it by hand. Okay, and that does not look good at all. I can't do it, y'all. I just can't do it. No matter how much water I pour in this thing up here, I just cannot get it primed for nothing. I don't think it's going to prime right now. I just don't think it's going to. What I'm going to do next is consult a professional, Mr. Don, who has already laid me out a game plan, guys, of how we're going to somehow take this apart and pull it up out of the ground and check the foot valve, and then we'll get it primed. We're going to get it going, y'all. We are going to get it going. I believe in Mr. Don, y'all. He can get it going. Check this out. Check this out. I know we can't get water running inside, but we can all listen to this as we leave. That's all for this one. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Okay, we better turn it off or we're going to burn it up. We don't want to burn it up, y'all, before we even get it working.